This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
The city's so nice, they named it twice. Okay? Why do I say? I don't need to say that. That's old and it's trite and it's the Big Apple, ladies and gentlemen. That's another thing. Where did that come from? I'm trying to remember where that came from. It came from some writer, I think some sports writer in New York City, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm always mistaken. Hello, how are you? What's happening? Welcome to the Alex Bennett Ramble, which comes to you from New York, the state without a governor. So, hi, how are you? What's happening? This is Monday, and every Monday we do something a little bit special. We talk to an old friend of ours who is part of our been a part of our citizen panel for quite a long time, and then he didn't get along with anybody and nobody got along with him, so what did we do? We put him on Devil's Island.
Yeah, I'm on double secret probation.
Your double secret probation is right.
Yeah. Well,
let me get my arrow out of the way. See my arrow, folks? You can always see that occasionally. All right. Anyway, go ahead. What?
Yeah, it's a bright and shiny day. It's been 100 degrees out here. I don't know what it's like in New York.
It was about 85 today, and I think it's supposed to be 90 tomorrow. And Marjorie always says to me, "Oh, it's going to be really hot tomorrow."
Yeah.
And I go, "So,
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't care. I stay indoors with the air conditioning on. I don't care. I'd like to take my walks more regularly because I'm getting rather weak. But it's impossible when it gets hot, So.
No, I understand. It's nobody wants to go outside. You want to stay in the air conditioning.
Yeah. By the way, your green screen doesn't completely cover your back.
Yeah, right? I know.
Oh, what did you put him up for?
Well,
to depress me?
Well, I wanted to ask you how you felt about what happened today. To me, I would imagine you feel about this the way I felt about Richard Nixon.
I don't know if I felt exactly the way you felt about Richard Nixon, but both Marjorie and I have been a bit depressed over this.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he hadn't quit. I know why he did. Okay, because he wants to get out from under all this crap, so he can maybe run for office again.
Did he make a deal?
No,
do you think?
No, I don't think he made a deal. But they haven't got anything on him really. If you listen to his lawyer, the woman who had that complaint, that she went there and she was going to work on his phones or something, but she wasn't even there to work on his phones. Turns out the date she says this all happened, she wasn't even there.
Really?
Yes. So, and so far as the other things are concerned, they've kind of batted them aside for the most part. And then the rest of them are like fluff. Hey, he held my cheek at a wedding.
Well, what about the one that he went under her shirt and cupped her breast or something?
That was the one I think that they said never was there that day.
Yeah.
So,
Still, that the Kavanaugh hearings where all women...
Oops. Sorry about that, folks. I didn't want to get that in the way. I should have gotten that fixed earlier. Anyway, go ahead. What?
During the Kavanaugh hearings, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people came forward. A lot of it was BS.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that attorney that came up with two or three people, he's in jail. He's a fraud. He tried to defraud. Was it
Well,
Nike?
well, just because the lawyer was fraudulent didn't mean she was. Okay, so don't try to equate those two together. All right, but the fact was that in the case of Kavanaugh, he was being accused of rape. Cuomo was never accused of anything close to rape.
Actually, he was being accused of holding this woman down on the bed, but I don't believe that there was a rape accusation.
Yeah.
It was she was being held
And by
against.
the way, the thing that was happening to Kavanaugh wasn't like a criminal action, okay? It was an action questioning his, what do you call it? His decency, okay? And his, if you're going to become a Supreme Court justice, they want the highest, most moral people they can find. And
Yeah.
he didn't come under that category, so.
Well, it's just I'm very surprised that he stepped down if there was no fire with the smoke.
Well, no, but sometimes things are so there's so much heat going around that you can't get out from under it. What it was everybody judging him before having any facts. Okay,
It's common.
Yeah, it's common these days, but it's not right.
No.
But if enough people are saying, "Well, you got to quit," like Schumer and Gillibrand, who I consider totally un-American, all right?
Yeah.
Because if they were American, they would be standing up and saying, "Hey, we got to wait till this thing goes into a court of law. This can't just be. We can't ask him to quit when nothing's been proven." And by the way, of these people, these 11 women.
Yes.
I think 8 of them weren't sworn under oath. They were not.
It was an investigation.
Yes, but they weren't sworn in under oath. And when you're not under oath, you can lie your head off.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 of them did, but they've swatted away most of these allegations. But what the governor said was, if I at all made any of these women feel uncomfortable, and they felt uncomfortable even though what I did might have been kind of innocent, then I apologize. I don't want them to be hurt because of it.
In his speech today, he said that the mores have changed over time,
And they have.
and that he didn't change with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was an honest assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we can fault him for that. But the thing that got me, is this guy goes on, and I had a feeling he was going to resign from the beginning of the speech. It was just the way he was stating it.
Words, yeah.
Yeah, and I heard the speech, and it was, I think it was a nice enough speech. I think he tried to explain himself, and he did apologize to all the women in case any of them were bothered by his actions, which, some of them I think we can say even didn't happen. But he did a mass apology to these women. He was very contrite about it, and then he resigned. Then at MSNBC, you got that bitch, what's her name?
Leather pants.
The one that's married to the former Secretary of the Treasury.
Oh, the treasurer.
What's her name? Look, she's on at noon every day. Mitchell, Andrea Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
He was her Greenspan was not Secretary of Treasury. I don't think. I think he was the head of the Fed.
Maybe it was the head of the Fed. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, in any event, she then comes on, and all these people get on, and they all pile on Cuomo. Oh, he said this, but he didn't really mean that, and blah 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 blah. Hey, the guy just quit his job, just apologized to everybody in creation. Said he was doing it because he didn't want to slow down the ability of the state to do business, and he didn't want to cost them several $1 million in some kind of action. Okay, that he was doing the right thing in getting out because he felt it was the best thing to do in service of the public of New York. I think that's a nice, thing. They're bitching. Oh, he really didn't mean this, and he didn't say enough about this, and oh, why didn't he do it as a press conference? What? So you could ask him questions, you assholes?
Now these are the
wait a minute. I'm through with MSNBC. I'm through with them. I'm never going to watch those assholes again. I'm sorry. You know.
I heard, was it last week that you were becoming a Republican?
Well, I was thinking about it. Yes.
So,
I figured it doesn't matter what I am. Actually, it's who I vote for that counts.
Yeah.
Hey,
I got my ballot yesterday for the gubernatorial takedown in my state, California. Now you're getting a new governor. I guess it's going to be your lieutenant governor.
Yeah, it's going to be a broad.
Well,
it's going to be a chick. We got a chick for governor.
Who is this broad chick, and
she's a skirt. She's a skirt.
Oh, you're showing your age. 23 Skidoo or
Skidoo. I hear she's competent, but we don't know. She's never been governor before, and when as a lieutenant governor, she didn't do a damn thing. So except sit there with her finger up her ass, waiting for something to go wrong with Cuomo.
Where she stands politically? Or?
Well, I mean, she's a liberal. I mean, he wouldn't have chosen her if she didn't, fit his qualifications.
Yeah.
So I guess she's okay. I don't know much about her. Nobody. In fact, I can't even remember her name, and neither can anybody who's probably going to be calling tonight.
I have no idea who she is. I guess we'd have to Google her or ask Siri or something.
I guess that'll be another question for my neurologist to ask me. Who's the governor of New York? I don't know. Like I did with Cuomo. So I mean.
Well, we're not leaving for 14 days.
Right.
Now, what does that do? Does that give him time to steal the silverware?
Yeah, it gives him time to steal the silverware. No, I just think that, I felt very bad about him leaving because I think he, if you look at him as a governor, forget about his little peccadillos or his problems or what you might conceive of being his problems. And I think even you would agree these things aren't that terrible that he did.
Well, the peccadillos I don't think are good. That doesn't show leadership.
What do you mean they're not good? What did he do?
Well, if he in fact, like your AG says.
Oh, by the way, the AG wants to be governor. Okay?
Yeah, I understand, but she got a job to do, and she says that he harassed 11 women, and
by the way, the word is harassed. Everybody gets that wrong. The word is harassed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Everybody says harassed.
I had some liberal correct me on Facebook. Saying I used the word Y-O-U-R, and he said I should use Y-O apostrophe R-E.
Oh, great. You know something? That's another thing. I'm not posting on Facebook anymore. I'm just not, except for my Monday show, which I have to out of necessity. But otherwise, I'm not posting anything there because every time I say anything,
right. Somebody
2 or 3 people unsubscribe.
Right. Well, yeah, but that at least opens it up for you to get some hookers.
That's good. That's right. I'm going to let all those hookers on for a change. I think I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a really good-looking one and see what happens.
Yeah.
By the way, I got my call today. My phone rings. I'm trying to sleep, and it rings like 5-6 times, right?
Is this all from the vote?
No.
Oh.
No. I don't know who those were from, but finally I decided, I'll answer it.
Yeah.
Last week I got one of these calls, and then I got another one after that of somebody calling up and starting off the call this way. We're calling from Medicare. Did you get your new card?
So they were fishing again.
Yeah, yeah. And I went. So the other day I said, "Yeah, well, I have a card." They said, "Well, you go get it." And then I think they read off the first four numbers of it
Yeah.
to me and said, "Well, just tell us what the rest are, so we know who you're supposed to be." And then one thing leads to another. And before I know it, I'm on the line to somebody who's trying to sell me something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this happens again today. All right. So I figured, hey, I'm 81 years old. I always say 91. Yeah. I'm 81 years old. I got nothing to do with my pathetic life except lie here in bed waking up. So I'll just take this guy on a long trip down the road to nowhere.
Yeah, waste his time.
Right, waste his time, because not wasting my time. I have a lot of time. Okay.
So you're not using RoboKiller any longer.
No, because that was weeding out some people I wanted to talk to.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
So anyway, so I say, so this guy says, same thing, blah 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 blah. Your name Bennett. Hi, Bennett Schwarzman. We're calling from Medicare, and he's got a foreign accent. You know he's calling from Bombay, if not Russia. In fact, I got a call the other day where it said it was from Russia on my phone.
Wow.
Anyway, so and he does this whole thing, and then he says, "Did you get the new car?" And I said, "Yeah." "What color is it?" I said, "It's red," because I've been through this before. Red, white, and gold. I don't know. Are they red, white, and gold? I guess they are.
No.
Anyway, says red, white, and gold. And they say, "Well, yeah. Now, what? Let me. Would you read me the ID number?" And I said, "Yeah, it's 564. Fuck you."
And did the guy say "fuck you" back?
Yes.
Yes, the same thing it happened to me. It wasn't with the Medicare. It was for.
I mean, I'm sure they're trained. They're told that if somebody says "fuck you," you say "fuck you" back too.
Well, a guy called me, and he actually called back a couple times after I told him I know that this is a phony call, and go fuck yourself. And the guy actually called back a couple of times. So I have a very loud horn on my car. I had the horns changed, and I took the phone out to the car and put it on the bumper. And when he answered, and I ran over to my steering wheel to push the horn. It's a good thing I didn't get there in time. It was a customer.
Whoa. Well, anyway, yeah. So what happened was, and then I said to him, Medicare has told me that Medicare never calls, so you're not Medicare, and he hung up.
Yeah.
And then all these calls that I was getting all morning stopped.
Yeah, well, it was, I think they wanted to do something with my IP address. And this was not, we're from Microsoft, we're here to help. This, or we're here from Windows. They didn't say Microsoft.
Or even as Reagan said, we're here from the government and we're here to help.
Yeah, those are the 4 words you never want to hear.
Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, I've received similar calls to that, and they are punitive. They'll call you back if you know that you're being scammed, and you tell them to go fuck themselves. You're being
scammed. But anyway, so I was worried last week, but he actually today read off all the numbers of my credit of my card. So apparently they get that information from somewhere.
I think that might be public knowledge. I mean, the insurance companies get it.
Well, sure. I give it to the insurance companies. I give it to my doctor. I give it to whoever needs it. I give it to my pharmacy.
You don't get solicitations for insurance because you're on Medicare?
Yeah, I get solicitations for insurance, but it doesn't have my insurance card number on it. But all they have to do is go online and they can find it somehow.
Yeah, there's been so much data compromised. They say that the Chinese government can put together a dossier on every American person in this country.
Probably, and probably so can the Russians, and so can probably the French. I mean,
so much of our lives are online,
and that's why we've got to go offline. So I'm going offline, folks. I'm take myself completely offline. Get off the grid.
What did you call Irv when it comes to
A Luddite.
A Luddite, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to become a Luddite.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I'm not going to become a Luddite. I'm going to become someone who totally hates technology. That's not a Luddite. I know how this technology works. I'm not completely immune to knowing about it and what it does and how it does it. But,
well, Alan and I have a friend that has a flip phone and refuses to use email. He refuses to buy anything online. He won't. He doesn't go online. He doesn't have a computer, and the guy reads a lot. He's an intelligent guy, but if he needs to order something or wants something, he calls Alan and says, "Can you look this up for me?" And at the moment, he and Alan aren't friends, so the guy is totally out in the left field.
Well, I just I don't know why our government doesn't do more to protect the public against these scammers on the phone. If we can get a hold of the Russians and say, you better stop these people from hacking us, or
don't you call anymore.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. That we can go after these hackers in Russia, and we have people with technology to go after them. And then when he talks to Putin, he says, you better do something about it, or we're going to take retaliation. And then we do nothing about these people who are like scamming old people.
Well,
why don't we take the same attitude we do with those people and hack them?
I don't know why our government doesn't stop it. They say there's laws against it, but
there are laws against it, but they don't. The calls don't come from this country. I saw on my phone the other day. They're so brazen. It said Russia.
Who invented the internet?
I did. No! Wait a minute. It was Al Gore. He got there before me.
There was the internet or the ARPANET.
ARPANET, it was called, was the original thing, and it was a link.
An American.
It was a link between hospitals and military and so on. It was a kind of a governmental thing, and then a bunch of people found out it existed and figured they could jump onto it, and then before you knew it, a lot of Americans were doing it, and then finally the government had to say, we give up, okay, you guys can use it. Then it was expanded on and so on and so forth.
And can we, since it's our technology, why can't we cut the internet to these rogue countries that are allowing this type of behavior?
Because that isn't exactly, I think, how it works. One time I said to somebody, why don't you tell me something? I said, what? I said, where is the internet? We know that I go online here and I can see that I'm on YouTube right now, but it goes through the internet, and where is that and how is it? And then they say, well, there's a West Coast version called May West, and then there's an East Coast version, and there's this and that. And I go, none of this is making sense. In other words, once I go online, where am I going? Am I going to a satellite? Am I going on landlines? Where am I going? And I've never gotten an answer to that question.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I would figure it's kind of some sort of server farm or something.
Well, there are servers, but then you have to get onto that server. And, so the question is, where is it? How is it? Who is it? Why is it?
You remember my friend Dan, I had him call you the other day because you wanted to know about the dark net. Mm-hmm. And he sort of explained to me and you what the dark net was.
Yeah.
Which was, you know more about it and would have understood it more than I did. But
I still don't completely understand.
It was internet addresses.
All I'm saying is, we're getting away from my point. My point is, if we can do all this to try and hack people who are trying to, extort money from a lumber company or something like that, why are we not doing something about these people who make robocalls? That should be a walk in the fucking park.
I said that if Trump could have eliminated robocalls, he would have had 3 terms. You know?
No, I think he would have had one. I don't think he would have gotten the first one if he could eliminate robocalls. Come on. Who used the technology more than Trump did? You know?
Well, he used Twitter, but and not anymore. But anybody that could eliminate robocalls, I think would be a hero. And because I am so tired of it, it's an invasion of our privacy.
It's a waste of our time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's you're right. Now they could be making these calls, but they go offshore, and then the offshore number calls back to the U.S. number. So these robocalls, even though we're seeing them as offshore, they could originate here.
Listen, I want to ask you something. I want to get your take on the governor of Florida.
Oh, DeSantis.
Yeah. Now, you can't tell me that you think his behavior is correct.
Yeah, actually, I do.
You do? How do you defend it?
Why should I defend it? It's his behavior that, and first of all, he was attacked by Joe Biden.
No, forget about that. Forget about that. Okay? I'm talking about his attitude about,
That's it.
you know, no, I'm making it, I'm outlawing masks in schools. What?
Well, listen to me on this. What's happening is we're losing more and more of our rights.
No.
And our freedom to choose.
You don't have the right to make me sick.
But then don't go outside. You know, the thing is you can't.
This is the Phil we know and love. Okay, go ahead.
You can't mandate these kinds of things. You know, we have a constitution. That's what makes this country this country. And what DeSantis is doing is he's standing up for freedom. And I have to.
Freedom to what? Freedom to what?
Freedom to make a choice to whether you want
to what? Whether you want to wear a mask or not.
Not only wear a mask, but also get a vaccine.
Wait a minute. You're sending kids to schools
that have the least.
You want them? No, not anymore. Not anymore. No, kids are getting it in great numbers. The Delta variant has made that possible.
Where did the Delta variant first rise up? It was in India, right?
That's the first place we saw it, I think.
Now, I believe that what's happening is India, it's already passed. And so I think that this is a very fast-moving virus.
There's nobody left alive in India.
Well, you know, China today said that they had 143 COVID-19 cases. 143. They got how many billion people? They've got to be lying to us.
I think they're probably lying about that. Yeah.
You know, maybe they left off 4 or 5 zeros off of that 140.
But then again, Trump lied a lot about that. You know.
But that has nothing. That's a whataboutism, as Vernon would say. So
now, don't you diss my friend Vernon.
I'm not dissing him. I am using his logic.
You want to go after Robert? Go after Robert, but don't go after Vernon.
Robert did enough to step on his own pee-pee, you know, and you know, I don't want to tread on the dead.
Oh, go ahead. Anyway,
but the thing is, you asked me about DeSantis, and I believe that he's standing up for freedom, and whether you like what it is or not. You don't like a lot of the
freedom.
things the Constitution gives us.
That's not freedom. I mean, we talk about public welfare and the public good. And, you know, we don't tell people it's okay to run around shooting guns in the streets because it might hurt somebody.
We don't, and we have laws against that, you know, but we don't have.
And we have the right. I mean, the thing is, what happened here that was so wrong is he made this mandate and then said he was going to pull funds from any school that decided to go the other way. And the fact of the matter is that he really, you know, as Trump said, get out of the way. These individual areas, these individual school districts have a right to decide for themselves what they want to do as regards the safety of their children.
Yes, but they can't take the rights away from other people that don't agree with them.
No, but we're not.
You have the right.
I think you. No, I think you're mixing up what a right is and what a right isn't.
You have the right not to send your kid to a school.
You have a right. Then you have a right to yell fire in a crowded theater.
Oh, you don't.
No,
but you have a right not to go to the school.
Why don't you have the right to under your thinking, to yell fire in a crowded theater?
Think about this. You have the freedom to go without the mask, but you as a parent have the freedom to say, I am not sending my kid to a school that doesn't wear masks. And you can find your own way of getting educated that agrees with your...
You can't afford something other than the public school system.
That's the best thing going, because then school choice and vouchers would be the way to send your kid to a school.
Well, now we're getting into a whole different thing. You're getting off.
If you don't want to do it, you can Zoom.
If you had a kid, let me just ask you this, and then we should probably go to nobody's waiting on the line except for Alan. If you had a kid right now and you lived in Florida, would you send him to school without a mask?
Yes.
Without vaccine?
No. Well, yes. I don't think.
Really?
Well, it depends on the age. Under 12, I don't believe.
Yes. No, it's changed, Phil.
Well, everything.
Don't you read the news? It's changed because young kids, children, are getting it.
Right, but when they get it, they don't get it to the.
They have had some die.
That happens. Kids get.
What I'm saying, do you want to take that chance? As remote as it might be, do you want to take that chance with your kid?
Well, if they distanced, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
Boy. Yeah.
I think that kids need the socialization of being able to see other kids and not wearing a mask. I mean, we're not Zorro. And then, the other thing is it's hard to breathe. I have a problem breathing.
No, I agree that it's not comfortable, but anyway, listen, I only have one person waiting. Should I even go to them? It's your friend
I'll hang out for a few minutes until you get some.
We'll add Alan to the group here then.
Yeah.
And then,
Hey,
Bill Meyer, I have a sign up for you guys. You were talking about your buddy Ron DeSantis here.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it down because I hate it. I hate him, and I totally disagree with you, Phil. I think this has nothing to do with freedom. The freedom to bear arms, I got a problem with people taking that away, but the freedom to not protect your friends and loved ones from this horrible disease and kids that can't get the vaccine, DeSantis ought to die.
Oh, and tell me how you really feel.
Well, that is how I really feel. I was listening to you talk about him, and Alex asked you a question, and I agree with Alex. I mean, based on your response, you ought to be able to yell fire in a crowded theater.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Well, but that's what you're saying with DeSantis.
You have a freedom of speech, and but you don't have the right to cause panic. Now, not wearing masks is not going to cause panic. It just creates an environment that you can choose to be in or not be in.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you have. If you're in a theater and somebody yells fire, you can.
I got to tell you, if I lived in Florida right now, and thank God I don't. I have to say that too. But if I lived in Florida right now and I had a kid, I would not send him to school if I couldn't have him wear a mask and I didn't know the other kids were wearing masks and I did, and then I'd probably get in trouble for not sending him.
That's your choice.
But I'd get in trouble for not sending my kid to school.
Yeah, that's your choice.
What do you mean that's my choice? It's not my choice.
You could choose to get in trouble for not sending your kid to school, or you could choose to not, to send them because you're afraid of the consequences. But you have the freedom to make that choice. In a crowded theater, you don't have the freedom of somebody else.
Well, then I have the freedom to shoot DeSantis.
No.
I'll send you the bullets.
And also while I'm at it, I may as well take out the governor of Texas too. You know.
So you got something
idea.
cripples and wheelchairs?
Yes, I hate cripples.
All
Just
right.
ask Patrick. I tell him all the time, I like you a lot, Patrick, but basically I hate you because you're a cripple. Yeah. Yeah.
If you want your numbers to go up on the show, I think you got to put a half hour of Phil and Robert. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Phil and Robert? No.
I'm kidding.
You know, I've said,
Robert would end up dead at the
I've
end
said
of
to
the show
myself,
somehow.
never again with Robert. Okay,
Yeah.
I never said that with Phil. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
because
you
Phil,
know,
in spite of the fact that he's an asshole, is a nice guy. I know that doesn't make sense, folks. You know,
True.
but
Still killing Florida with his stupidity.
yeah,
yeah.
On death, DeSantis.
right.
I'm going to change this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
like-
let me get rid of this Phil Meyer here.
Phil
Can I
is a
just ask
nice
Phil a
person.
question?
Yeah.
Can I just ask Phil a question?
No.
Yeah.
So, so if you have the freedom to not wear, I mean, to choose not to wear a mask, that's fine. But does that mean you have the freedom to, endanger other people?
Can I? Okay, let me use this comparative. Do you smoke, by the way, John?
I do. I
Okay.
do.
So when you smoke, you have the freedom to have that cigarette, but the smoke affects me who doesn't smoke, and I don't like smoke. But you have the freedom to have that now. And second,
I don't have the freedom to smoke in your house or in your car.
this is true. But
Or in your school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't. Yeah. By the way, kids can't smoke in school.
they do. They do. Trust me, they do. And they smoke a lot more than cigarettes. But the thing is, if I'm walking behind you,
That's not that. Come on, be serious.
I am being serious. I don't like the smell of smoke. And secondary smoke is harmful. Maybe it's not as harmful as getting COVID, but it's certainly harmful. So,
Come on, Phil.
same thing, you're exposing me to something that I don't like, but you have a right to do it.
But you can walk in public anywhere you want without a mask.
And you can choose to wear a mask in places.
But that's not what they're saying. What they're saying is you can't make me wear a mask anywhere. If I want to go to your restaurant, without a mask, I can do that. No, you can't. That's what we're saying. You
But
can't. You can fucking go anywhere you want without a mask, but you cannot come in to a sporting event, or you cannot come into a place where you're going to infect a group of people. That's all we're saying.
Restaurant allowed smoking.
Well, I'll tell you. Think
I would
about
go into it.
think
Not
about
anymore.
think about COVID as though we're smoking,
Right.
and I imagine that those same rules apply. I mean, you would not want to go to a restaurant where they allowed smoking. They say no smoking. Is that's the same under your definition? That's the same kind of unconstitutionality as making somebody not be able to go into a restaurant because they haven't been vaccinated.
Oh, because I have a choice of not going in. I don't agree.
No, but you
I don't agree with these vaccine passports and having to
Why?
show that
Why?
you're vaccinated.
Why?
That's creating two classes of people. And
that's right. That's
those-
right.
Those with the yellow star on their
Damn
sleeve.
right. You know
Yeah.
what? Because
Those
those fucks, Phil, those fucks who didn't get vaccinated or what have now caused us to have this Delta variant go crazy. Okay.
This- In India, where
Don't
they
you-
Delta
wait a minute,
virus
Phil,
virus
do you
started.
agree or disagree with what I just said?
I'm not sure that you're correct.
Let me ask Alan, because Alan knows a lot about this stuff. Do you think if everybody had gotten vaccinated, that we'd have a Delta variant right now?
In very small pockets in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're having a breakthrough of people that did get vaccinated. It's not a high amount, but the majority of people
It's
that are getting
very
it,
small, Phil.
the majority
Very
of people
small.
who are getting it are unvaccinated, and they made a choice, and they're getting sick and they're dying.
And they're
But-
making the people around them sick, though, too. They're taking them down with them.
yeah, very few numbers of those that were vaccinated are getting breakthroughs, and if they do get
What
it,
I'm saying
it's very
is,
mild.
if people didn't go get vaccinated, what they, I did my part to help kill this thing right?
No, you yourself.
No, I did it for other people too. I didn't do it just for me. Wait a minute, I'm not being,
Right.
trying to be, what's the word I'm looking at? Don't pat me on the back for this. But I did it primarily not only for myself, of course,
But for humanity.
but for the people around me as well.
Oh, that's 20/20 hindsight.
No, it isn't 2020
No, it
hindsight.
isn't.
I did it so I wouldn't infect Marjorie. I did it so I wouldn't infect Marjorie's friend, who comes over here. I did it for a lot of different reasons.
I didn't do it for such generous reasons.
Well, of course not, because you're a horrible, terrible, vile person.
I ran out and got the vaccine because I was tired of the restrictions that I had, and I didn't want to get sick. I was
You
selfish.
didn't want to die, Phil. Be honest about it.
That's what I got.
Well, actually, in the beginning, we didn't know if this was a death sentence like AIDS. AIDS.
Well, we knew pretty well into it. I'd say by July of last year, we knew it was a death sentence. We knew here in New York it was a death sentence early.
if you were a convalescent home.
I had to go. I remember towards the beginning of the thing, I had to go get my cancer, my prostate operation thing, and I went to Mount Sinai. And outside of Mount Sinai was that tent that Billy Graham's son set up, or if you pray, you can come stay with us.
I don't think
that's what he did. Really, I'm true. But anyway, he put it out right outside of in Central Park, right outside of Mount Sinai. But I remember seeing the what do you call it, the trucks with the freezers in them,
Right.
where they were putting all the dead bodies that were stacking up 400 a day in New York State. Okay, so we knew there was a problem.
There's a problem. They also feel that the Chinese were aware of the.
You're getting off topic.
No. They were aware of this in months before they said that it leaked. Well, they didn't say it leaked, but months before they said that there was an issue. So, what's happening is why aren't we?
Well, to begin with, Phil. To begin with, the New York virus, and this is where it first really hit in the United States. It did hit on the West Coast at that nursing home in Oregon, right? Or was it Washington? I can't remember, one or the other. But the New York infestation that happened did not happen from China. It came from Europe.
It came from Europe.
Yeah.
But what happened was the Chinese did not allow anybody to fly from Wuhan within China, but it was okay if they flew to the United States. Now Trump shut down traffic from China, but so they flew to Europe, and then from Europe they came over to the United States.
But it wasn't the Chinese that were spreading it. By that time, it had already hit Europe.
And nobody knew what it was. Fauci said, "Don't wear a mask." Pelosi said,
"Listen, I don't hold it against anybody what they thought in the beginning, because this was a whole new territory. We didn't know what the story was.
Yeah,
we didn't know the
everything
full.
was changing fast.
Yeah, it was a day-to-day thing.
We didn't know how many
even
people- how
Fauci said,
bad it was gonna
back
be.
then we didn't know that you had to wear a mask because we didn't know how virile this thing was. But we
And-
found out
and-
in a short time and told you to start wearing masks."
And all Fauci said was, let's not have a run on masks, so the the healthcare workers.
That
don't
was
have
the
it.
other reason why. But Phil, don't go after Fauci.
Can I- can I
Fauci
say
was a
something?
good guy in all of this. Okay.
Can I say something about DeSantis?
Yeah.
5 of the major county school districts today in the state of Florida voted to require kids to wear masks against DeSantis's order to not do it, including where I have friends in Brevard, Broward County.
Broward.
A couple hours ago, it was in the news, and 5 of the major counties said, "Fuck him. We're going to go for kids. We're going to."
And then they're going to take him to court over what if he doesn't send them money.
I don't think. I think they care more about the kids' health, unlike a lot of Republicans. You know.
I think it's a Republican.
Oh, it is absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it is.
absolutely. It's a right-left thing.
If it is, why
Phil.
hold it, Alex?
Okay.
Why are the majority of
Don't yell at me.
unvaccinated minorities? They're Spanish and black. Why, those are the majority of unvaccinated,
No, they're
and
not.
the majority of them
Not
are
any
not.
longer. Not any
are
longer.
Democratic.
Not any longer, Phil. Not any longer. You know, they've gotten the message because they're preachers and everybody, the local people and everybody have said, go out and get the shot. I'll tell you who basically has had it, who's getting it now, are all those people who, for political reasons, and it's a right-wing attitude, because if you were to look at the amount of people who are to the left who have gotten vaccinated, I'd say it's probably up around 90%. I mean, it's an incredible amount.
You're guessing.
I'd say I was probably right.
Yeah, but
Would you disagree that I'm right? That I'm
Yes,
wrong?
I agree.
You
I would agree with
based
that.
on what I was led to believe, the majority of people that are unvaccinated, and if you look at the black population and
No,
the, and
Phil, that was months ago. Things change, Phil.
Yeah.
That was months ago. In fact, there are a lot of people getting it now. Like in Louisiana, where they were very resistant to it, they're now getting it like crazy because their friends are dying.
Arkansas, the governor. I'm sorry, John, you had your hand up.
Go ahead. I was just gonna just say the Navajo Nation has almost 100% vaccination.
Yeah. Well, good. It's Cochise. But
There we go. Okay,
hey, so the
and it didn't cost them any wampum either.
Classic Phil.
yes,
Classic Phil.
Get those fingers in there. Get those fingers in there when it gets to serious talk.
soon. Bada boom. So the governor of Arkansas, I believe, came out yesterday and said that he was wrong about the vaccine. And
He's
so
changed his whole.
Things are changing.
Yeah,
And,
but you won't hear DeSantis say that. You won't hear that asshole in Texas say that.
well, they're allowing people to make their own choice. And if you want to, they're not telling any school that the child can't show up with a mask. They're just saying that you can't make them wear masks. And if my child or I was concerned that they should wear a mask, then have them social distance.
Common sense would make you not tell people to wear a mask.
Say again, Brian. I'm sorry.
What common sense would not tell you kids to wear masks?
Well,
and let's face it, DeSantis isn't standing up for the Constitution. He's playing. It's a play he's doing here. He doesn't give a shit.
Of course.
About the Constitution, because if he did, he would say, hey, everybody has a right to make a decision. The school districts have a right to make the decision. It's not me to put out the edict saying you can't do this.
Because those are citizens.
Because
in
what's
that
more
school district.
unconstitutional than telling somebody they can't do something?
My kid has to take 8 other vaccines or they won't allow them to go to school.
Yes, and I bet in all those school districts in Florida, the same thing is true. You got to have your measles vaccine, you got to have your rubella or whatever. I don't know what they are these days. Your distemper, whatever the shots are.
What is this vaccine? It's an emergency vaccine. It's FDA approved. What do they call? So all those other vaccines have the approval. Now, by September, I understand that the COVID vaccine is probably going to be approved by the FDA. And then they could probably mandate it to students that if you want to go to school, you've got to have this, just like you got to have all the other ones.
They're doing it for, they say, compassionate purposes. Did you have your hand up, Tony?
Oh, no, I was just stretching my shoulder, got stiff.
Oh, well, don't do that. Anyway.
I don't want to dominate this thing.
No, I know that, Phil.
Oh, good. Then let's talk liberal politics, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Tiptoe through the tulip.
I like the way Brian put it. It's wonderful to have classic Phil back again, isn't it?
Yeah, those great jokes right when you get serious talk going.
Otherwise,
only
we don't.
missing
We
would be
just talk
Robert
about the
calling
same
in.
thing again.
Yeah.
It's good to have Phil here. Otherwise, well, the whole show will be consumed like every show last week. How Como was not guilty. I'm teasing. Don't. I don't want to get you started.
Don't start me.
No, don't do that.
You know, I'm really depressed about this thing today.
I figured it would be.
I don't like Cuomo, but I didn't rub it in Alex's face. You know, I asked the question, "How do you feel about it?" You know,
You had a picture of Cuomo in your background right when you opened up. The
Yes.
show.
Yeah. That's not rubbing.
You didn't rub it in his face.
no, I didn't have that picture when I opened up. I had this picture. I changed it when we started talking about Cuomo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
And then when we started talking about something else, I took the Cuomo picture down.
There's
Oh,
Kevin. He
Phil,
didn't
you're-
pay his light
You're
bill.
beautiful.
Kevin, did you not pay
What
your
do you think
light
Cuomo will do
bill?
now after he steps down?
I'm going to become the mayor of New York.
Yeah.
He's
I think
gonna be
he
Robert
should
Brown
run for. I think he should run for
2024.
Schumer's seat or Gillibrand's seat.
Yeah, maybe he can go to Florida. Be
Yeah.
the governor of Florida.
Well, no, but I mean, he could. If he doesn't get impeached, okay. If he doesn't get impeached, he's able to run for office again. He could conceivably run for senator.
Can they
Yeah.
impeach him?
he could be president.
Can they impeach him if he steps down?
Yeah.
Yes, they can, but I think they'll probably give up on that notion. Why? As he said, it's going to cost the state like $2.5 million to pursue the impeachment, and I don't want to cost them that money. I mean, he said it would just be too much that this state would have to go through, and nothing would get done in the meantime. And quite frankly, me staying in office is not in the best interest of the state, and I'm getting out. I thought that was noble. I thought that was decent, and you know.
Biden was asked a question today, which was, how do you feel that Cuomo was as a governor? And he says, as a governor, he said he felt that he did a very good job and that he was good for the state. Actually, he said, are you asking me how he did as a leader or how he did as, with the issues that are going on? So they said, well, how did you do as a governor? And Biden was supportive of that. And, there was a lot of people that felt that Cuomo helped them through a very scary time.
He did. He absolutely did.
I agree 100% on that. Why not?
Two hats, and I applaud the hat that he wore during the COVID crisis, and but it turns out that when you expose yourself to the media like this, eventually, you can only climb so high.
Well, no, there were a lot of people out to get him because he was not liked by the Democratic establishment because he was a bully, he was a tough guy to deal with, and in fact, the Attorney General of the state of New York had all kinds of run-ins with him, public run-ins, and this guy Kim, who was the other person who was one of the people, had a big run-in with him as well. I mean, he did not go around making friends.
Blasio and him were at loggerheads.
Oh, Blasio hated him, and he hated de Blasio, and I think he had every reason to hate de Blasio because de Blasio's a weasel,
right? I said that when he first got.
I never liked de Blasio.
I didn't ever like him.
And but I mean, it's still. I think that I feel bad for us because I think he was taking care of the COVID thing admirably, and he should be given credit for that and for actually showing other people how to do exactly the same job.
And everybody was watching him those times. I mean, even with Phil's comment, everyone in California was watching Cuomo at that time too, and being guided by him.
Yeah, right. Who are that's not
my
that's
daughters.
not
Those are my daughters.
That's not Adrian. It's somebody
there.
else. Huh?
There's Adrian.
No, that's Stephanie.
That's not Adrian. That's not. Wait a minute. That's not
How many
Adrian.
daughters have you got?
That's Tiffany right there.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
And Stephanie, that's Stephanie.
That's the mother and that's the daughter, but not
Yeah.
the other daughter.
No, not the other daughter.
No.
Mhm.
So anyway,
Brian,
good to see you, Tiffany.
Good to see you, Dad.
Okay, bye.
what are you doing to your front yard?
We're expanding the whole front out because we have a really big front yard, so we're expanding the front, and then the back quarter where we have like a really small laundry room, we're blowing that out, big bathroom and all that stuff.
It would have been nice if you posted that in Facebook instead of tomorrow it gets real with a picture of a tractor in your front yard.
That's called what's that called in the radio business when you're it's a teaser.
It's a
Oh, yeah,
teaser.
teaser. There we go.
It's a
Teaser.
teaser. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we go back to robocalls for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Bill brought this up. So
But
before
did we get an agenda? Did I miss the agenda?
no,
Didn't you get it? We sent it out.
No, I didn't know robocalls.
I
Okay,
sent
go
it
ahead.
out. I since I don't like the internet anymore, since I'm not going to have anything to do with it anymore, I sent a mimeograph copy to everybody.
so before the internet, before phones, I had a home phone like most of us did. And I'm not a morning person, and I would get a morning phone call from somebody trying to dial the 76 gas station repair station down the street, and they had it one digit off.
Yeah.
And it happened a lot. And so I started telling people, they said, do you know when my car is going to be ready? It was a repair place. And I said, you brought your car in for what? And they said, oh, tire rotation. I said, well, while we were in there, we found out that the brakes were bad. So we replaced all the brakes. We knew you'd want it done. And it's only $1,200. Come pick your car up and then hang up. And you know they would call back and call the correct number and go, what the hell, you know? And finally I went to the station and talked to the owner, and he says, I want to buy your phone number. I said, I've had it since I was 16. You've only been in business a couple of years.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me your number?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a business. I'm like, well, whatever.
Those are in the days when you got the wrong phone number. Now the equivalent of the wrong phone number are butt calls.
Yes.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a flip phone, like Bill mentioned, our friend
Yeah.
Paul.
Phones don't butt dial. It's those iPhones that butt dial.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Oh, they do that on the home calls too.
You put
All
your
the
butt
time.
up against your home phone?
No, you never were able to do it with a home phone. No, because
Right.
you never had like a one button you pushed and it would dial a number. You
Yes.
Oh, you had to go. Da 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 da. Da, da,
Or you
da,
had
da.
to push, the dial, the buttons on the,
Have you seen those little whatever little clips they have? They show these teenagers like a rotary phone, and they give them like 5 minutes to try to make a phone call, and they can't do it.
I'll tell you
They
what
don't know what
happened.
they're doing.
My mother, I remember my mother, even when she was in her 90s, could on a rotary phone just go blah, 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 blah. But if I gave her a new touch tone telephone, she's going it's all what you were raised with. These
Sure.
kids now are raised with iPhones. They can operate them better than I can. I have to dictate everything into my phone. I can't use that small little thing, but they'll just type it out. So.
Do you remember your home phone number when you were a kid?
I do.
I do.
Let me see here.
Even the word part in the beginning, the diamond.
Mine was Peekskill 4485.
Yeah, we were diamond 2.
Kid, you guys must be old.
I wonder. I think mine.
My mom
Marin
still
was-
has that number from 1958.
Wow.
Filbert 1-2. San Francisco is Filbert 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 something. I don't know. I can't remember now.
There weren't even area codes then.
No.
Wow, you guys
No,
are
in
old.
fact, the numbers were actually it was like Filbert, it was FI,
Yeah, that's
And
what I
then it
mean.
was
But ours
like-
was diamond. It was DI.
and there were like 4 more numbers, so it was only a total of 6 numbers.
So
Yeah.
when I was in
Seven.
my,
Wait a minute, what?
when I was in my 20s, I worked as a operator, the dial-o operator, and I'd get people calling, they'd be calling on a payphone, and I'd go, the thing had come up on the computer. It says deposit, $1.50, and I go, be $1.50, please.
One of my phone numbers in Marin County was something 2273. I can't remember what the first part of it was. It might have been Lucerne, I think, was one of the exchanges. I know there were a lot of them here in New York that people always used to tell me about when they were waxing about the old days.
Well, I think that they always took the two letters of the
First two letters
of the word. Yeah.
What was
the number and 4 numbers?
And how many here remember party lines?
Yeah.
My sister had one.
Yeah.
Had her second phone number for about a week, and then we got a.
But you had to pay more for a non-party line. But a party line, in case the kids are listening, you're not going to believe this. Somebody else shared the line with you. So you could pick up the phone to make a call, and you'd hear them talking to whoever their friend was.
Yeah.
You know how
have to say,
Rather
get off
pick
the
them out,
phone.
they used to say, pick up the phone in the bedroom. You can talk at the same time.
Yeah.
That's our party line.
That was a big deal. Extensions.
Yeah.
Yeah, extensions. Yeah, she know what she had.
My parents would get off.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Phil's got his cell phone that's a party line, the Republican Party.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna.
What a boom.
What? What's that?
County
Recall.
Hey, Phil.
Yep. I got to work that damn thing. $276 million election.
That's just the booklet. That's not the actual ballot,
That's
right?
the
Yeah,
booklet.
you'll be getting the ballots pretty soon.
This is the centerfold.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of the
Are those
Republicans.
all the candidates?
And the Republicans aren't even endorsing any of them.
No, but
And then there's a blank spot. We could put Alex Bennett right there.
Do
There you
it.
go.
Do
More
it.
votes.
I think we all ought to do that. Put Alex
Oh,
Bennett.
no, because then-
Just
No,
write in
no,
radiovote.com.
yeah, but vote for the recall.
By the way, they're going to announce on Monday who's the going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I'm
Oh,
betting
you
it's going to
made
be.
it or not?
I'm betting it's Sally Jesse Raphael.
They had a lot more names than I thought on that radio vote.
Well, no, they only had 4 in my category.
Oh, okay, that's right. There was different categories.
Yeah.
And I only voted 5 or 6 times in the one category. Because I have multiple emails.
Yeah.
I'm up to 9 now.
Somebody had to tell him that he could do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just, I don't think I'm going to win it. I just don't. If I do, I will be amazed. Okay.
I think he'll beat him.
Out in the industry, but
What?
I tried to vote for you, and to put it out in the industry, I don't know if he did, because he still does things for a lot of stations, and I guess he may not want to show favoritism.
Who?
Barry Martin.
Oh, I don't know.
Who's that?
He was a program director with national fame, and he was the doorman at WMCA.
The bathroom to the men's room?
It's a good job.
Yeah, but oddly enough, so was the guy who went on to become the producer for Sally Jesse Raphael.
Uh-huh.
He's pretty famous in his own right. Ask her if he knows him.
Yeah.
Because he made his career in country western.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you know what I was going to ask you, Alex? I was
What?
listening. I was listening to old radio air checks,
Mhm.
and somebody put up somebody. I wonder if you knew this guy, Long John Nebel.
Yeah,
He
of
sounded
course.
like.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
well, I
he
used to
like
work
a
with him.
conspiracy theorist, Alex? Because I was listening to
No,
one of
I
the
used
shows.
to.
we
I
do.
no. I used to
Neville
work. I
was
used
Lady
to,
great.
Katie
I used to,
Jones was
I
like-
used to work with Long John Neville at WMCA, but this was towards the end of his career, and he was not well. And I often talked about seeing him walk around the studio like some ghost.
Hmm.
He kind of walked around, and He had a wife, Candy Jones.
And yeah, his wife was on the show on one of these air checks. Like she sounded like she was out there. I don't know if she was acting or not. Like they were talking about like conspiracy theories or something like that.
Well, he got into all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's like UFOs.
But he was a classic, and I don't even think he's in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
He's actually entertaining. I
Should
said, wow,
be.
this guy's pretty good. He reminded me of that overnight show, Coast to
But
Coast.
I worked with him, and you know, I mean, I didn't know him that well, but I was in his presence a lot.
I used to listen to him every evening.
Yeah.
It was at night, yeah.
So did
When I
Don.
was a kid,
Yeah.
you know, and he was great.
Yeah, I mean, at the show I heard Jeff, it was like he's really entertaining. I forgot what year it is. I thought this guy's really good. I said the way he was, you know, putting the show on. I was like, wow.
Anybody ever listen to Mabe Russell?
Yeah, I found her. Yeah, she's out there.
Mabe Brassell.
She's been dead for a long time.
You're talking about
but-
She was
Mabe.
all that
You're talking
CIA
about.
mind
You're talking about.
control.
Wait a minute. You're talking about Mabe Brassell was her name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, Mabe Russell, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Was
She wasn't really a radio person as much as she was just.
a researcher, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. She was nutcase.
She was a little nutty.
A lot nutty.
Yeah, but a lot of that stuff she put out there, did research, was pretty legitimate stuff.
Well, you think so, you know. But I mean, it's like research today. Oh, I read it on the internet. Look who did research on the internet. You know.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I'll tell you the thing that's got me really all roiled up is the Farrell versus Allen people are trying to win an Emmy for that piece of shit.
What is that?
That thing about Mia Farrow and Woody Allen that was on
The
HBO.
movie, yeah.
The Hatchet job on Woody.
Yeah.
You know, without benefit of any kind of reality to the assertions being made. You know, so it's just terrible. It's terrible what we do today. I'm getting so disheartened about everything. Just, you know, that I don't feel good about things right now. I was watching what's his name, Attenborough, David Attenborough, who did a documentary which has been nominated for an Emmy this year about basically about global warming. And it is amazing. It's terrific. If you get a chance, it's on Netflix. And he shows what the world was like when he first started out in the business and going to all these places and how much wilderness there was and everything. And then today he's like 93 years old, and what the world is like now and where it's going to be 50 years from now and 100 years from now if we don't do something. And I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a day that's going to come that people are going to have to go out and buy oxygen.
really?
Yeah, you know.
Why you-
I mean, it's getting terrible.
Probably sooner than we think.
Yeah. Yes, Phil.
You know that Dave McQueen died. Dave McQueen died yesterday. He was the news guy with the real
Oh, really?
deep KSAN and
Yeah.
other stations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I know
McQueen.
that guy.
Yeah, he used the news for Terry McGovern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I vaguely remember Dave. Yeah.
Yeah.
His brother was a lot more popular, Steve McQueen.
I don't think
No, they weren't related.
They weren't related. I
Yeah.
remember the Dave McQueen.
How
Here in
old
the Bay
was Dave?
Area.
How old was Dave?
Dave McQueen.
78, I think.
78.
I stand corrected, Kevin.
Yep. He was a McQueen, not McQueen.
I got it.
Yeah.
It all sounds the same when you get to my age.
Well, you know, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
he always used to pronounce it that way. He always used to say Dave McQueen.
You know what's amazing here? I'm looking at this group of people tonight. Everybody who is from the San Francisco Bay Area, raise your hand right now. Look at that.
Oh yeah, you got
Well,
to.
there's only 3 people from the East Coast. You guys got to leave.
Hey, Alex, you should have raised your hand too. Just
I'm from there,
Oh, well, that's what you asked. Who's from?
but
here.
I haven't lived there in almost 20 years. So.
But feels right. You asked who's from here.
Ah, okay. But I mean,
Then it would change because Phil actually was an East Coast boy.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Brian and John and Kevin grew up,
but anyway, this whole global warming thing, it really,
grew up 20 miles south of San Francisco.
Oh, well, John, are you from here too?
Yeah, Sunnyvale.
Yeah, I grew up in Fremont. Wow.
If there's anybody out there who doesn't believe in global warming, watch this thing. It's empirical. I mean, you just see he has video and film that he shot in various places back then and what it's like now. And
What's the name of it in the network?
It's on Netflix, and it's called David Attenborough's The Something Planet.
Just type in David Attenborough, it'll come up.
Yeah.
I heard you talking Monday about there's not much on TV anymore, and below deck, Mediterranean and sailing below deck. I've been binge watching.
Yeah.
I like those.
What?
And Faye always says to me, "What do you like to do? See their titties?" And I said, "Yeah."
No, it's a great show for you to watch if you want to see faraway lands and jerk off at the same time.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I like Asian women from China, so there you go.
Yeah, from China?
Yeah, from China, from Vietnam, from Cambodia, wherever they're from.
What's this show called?
Red Tube.
What? Red Tube.
No, it's called it's called Below Deck. And there's Below Deck Mediterranean, there's Below Deck Sailing, there's Below Deck, I think there's one other Below Deck, and I can't remember where they did it. I think they did it like in the Mediterranean. In the
On Fox News, Below Deck means the little gay boys are together.
No. But anyway, it's
Below Deck Tenderloin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Deck sailing.
Yeah.
It's a funny show, and they all talk smack about the people that they're working for, and then at the end they divide up the tip, and and these people that are on this thing, like the guests, they must they watch the show afterwards. They know that these guys are all talking shit about them.
No, well, here's the thing. My friend Shecky watches the show as well. See, even intelligent people we wouldn't think.
Republicans.
I mean, it's a thing that's, something, I think we found a show that unites us.
Yeah.
Yeah. If all the world could watch Below Deck Mediterranean, it would be a better world in which to live.
Yeah.
He's been checking out some of the stuff because we've been arguing about it, like how much it costs the people to rent the boat.
It's a reduced rate, and I think they pay $75,000.
No, that's not what Shecky found out. No.
I had heard 75, and I don't remember where I heard.
Shecky looked it up. 200,000 for 2 days.
Wow.
And wait a minute. The production company actually rents the boat out for like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they turn around and charge the people who come on board.
Wow.
Probably at a reduced rate. So that 200,000 is a reduced rate.
Oh no! Well, they're 200,000, but I thought the reduced.
Have you
rate
seen this fucking boat? The one they're using now, especially. Come on, that thing. That's not cheap to operate.
Oh no, but yeah, I could see the production crew having to pay 200 grand for it. But I believe that if you agree to be filmed and to be part of the deal, and they're going to talk smack about you, they do it for a reduced.
Well, all he read was that it was 200,000 a day, for 2 days rather. But I mean, that boat's a big boat.
And even the sailing one, and there's different captains. Sandy, I think, is the most professional.
If I had fuck you money, I would rent the boat.
Yeah.
I would rent it out for like a week. Here's $1 million. Come on, let's go.
Somebody say that they were going on that on your
And I would take everybody here except Phil. Okay?
Oh, good. We'd have a good trip then. Phil wouldn't be sitting at the dining room table cleaning his guns all day long.
He's gonna try to shoot the fish.
Wait a minute. Wait, everybody.
always toss him
everybody
overboard.
defer to Phil because whenever he starts talking and somebody else is talking, it mutes him. So let's be quiet. Yes, Phil.
The only boat you guys are going on is called the Titanic.
Okay. Well, the classic Phil is back, Brian.
Classic Phil.
Yeah, including the bad
Or
jokes.
we take Phil on the Natalie Wood.
I understand she was the only type of wood that couldn't float.
Oh, shut up. I loved her. I loved her.
My mother loved
She
her.
was
I
my.
don't know.
She
I don't
was,
know much
she
about
was
her.
the first movie star I used to get morning wood over. Yeah, really.
I thought that would have been Barbie.
Yeah.
Is that her real name?
What?
Wood?
Is that her really? I think
Is her real name Morning Wood?
Hey, she's from San Francisco.
Yeah,
Her last
Santa
name was
Rosa,
Gonzalez.
actually, I think.
I'm
Was it
joking.
Santa Rosa?
I think Santa Rosa, yeah.
I thought she was born in San Francisco.
Well, she might have been born in San Francisco.
What
but,
did she do to her husband, Robert, whatever his name was? Were they having a bad relationship?
No.
Did they ever find out?
banging.
Nobody
Wasn't
knows.
she seeing what's his name, Alex? My mother thought they were having an affair
No,
with the
she
other
wasn't having an affair with.
That's
the
what
guy from the Dead Zone.
Robert Wagner is what I'm thinking of.
Pissed him
Christopher
off.
Walken was on the boat.
What?
Who?
Christopher Walken was
Walken.
there on the boat.
And he learned that if you want to save your career, you shut up.
Yeah. And then he finally spilled the beans years and years later.
Yep. Yep.
But what did he say? He didn't spill the
Yeah, what-
beans. I mean, what?
Yeah, he told the whole story on 2020 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just said that he and Walker were arguing, and she left and somehow got into that boat and tried
That
to
was
get.
the captain that did the expose, not Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken only said a little mouse fell into a can of milk and drowned.
No, you're not doing a good Christopher Walken. My friend Kevin Pollak told me how to do Christopher Walken. He says you take a one-syllable word and turn it into two syllables. Like if you're going to say, what's a good one-syllable word?
What?
What? Yeah.
M-
Okay. What?
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 Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Turn it into a
What?
two-syllable word. What? You talking? You said me? Anyway.
I think one of Christopher Walken's best shows was in the James Bond movie.
Oh, that was a terrible film. That's the worst James Bond movie ever made.
There was
Yeah.
a
Well, you still like what's the comedian that is like 89 years old? You were talking about him on the Monday show, Woody Allen. I never saw him as being funny.
he's very talented.
I think he was very funny.
No.
You two are on either side of me on this show, but I still don't understand his humor.
I told Alan to get the movie Chinatown. I said it's a great movie, and he watches it and he says it's a piece of shit, And now that he's watched it a couple times, he realizes that it's one
here's
of
the thing. Here's the thing. One of the genius of Woody Allen, best thing he ever came up with. He did a picture about an agent. What was the name?
Broadway Danny Rose.
Broadway Danny Rose.
I love that movie.
And he's a loser talent agent.
Yeah.
But he takes pity on all these just really terrible acts.
Yeah.
And the one he had that was just, this is the mind of Woody Allen, was a guy who had a stutter, who was a ventriloquist.
Yeah. Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. Okay.
See, Alan, you're taking movie advice from Phil.
Well, I'm writing down. I wrote down Below Deck Show the Meridian,
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean. What's the name of this one?
Broadway Danny Rose.
Broadway Danny Rose. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't laugh at that movie, then
And when they're running through the place where all the balloons for the Macy's Day Parade are being held, and somebody starts shooting bullets at them, and one of them opens, he lets gas go from one of them, and it's helium, and they all start running around with high voices. Very funny. Very funny.
I also told him about the Bronx Tale.
Oh, that's got to be one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Is that the one with De Niro?
No, the
De Niro
Bronx.
and his
Charles Pomerelli.
Palminteri.
Yeah.
Was it De Niro in that with his kid?
He's the bus driver.
I've been watching some old movies from
he's got Robert De Niro's in there. It's not his real kid, but
No, I know, but his kid.
Yeah, they found the 17-year-old kid on the beach somewhere. He's actually from Honduras or South America somewhere.
Huh.
He's not Latino, and he became a junkie. And him and his junkie friend were robbing or burglarizing. Let's get the right terminology. A house, I think in New York, and the next door neighbor was an off-duty New York cop, came over, and his friend shot and killed him. So he spent 6 years in prison or something.
Anyway,
like that.
I've been watching pre-code movies. These were movies that were made prior to 1934 in the motion picture code. And one of them was a film in which Kay Francis starred. And she was a doctor, a woman doctor, and of course, being a woman doctor in those days, nobody wanted to have you touch them, okay? But she becomes a very successful baby doctor, and then one day she winds up pregnant, but she isn't married, so she goes to Europe and has the baby. Okay, this is 1933. This film, 1933, and then I watched one from 1932 with Kay Francis about this guy who's a robber who robs people, and while he's robbing them, he gives them a joint so they get high.
You help me with the
Can you imagine this? A movie in which the plot is that one of the methods he uses, he always offers people marijuana cigarettes.
You help me with a final.
What, Phil? What, Phil?
Alex, you helped me with a final paper for a class I was taking. You gave me some information. You said Becky Sharp was the first Technicolor film.
3-color Technicolor.
He was taking a class?
3-color Technicolor, and just as sharp today as it was when 1936. So that was the premise for my paper, and you had given me that premise.
So this person gives them a joint. So I would give them lead.
What?
The bullet from the gun?
Sure. It's what a bullet's made out of.
You need to explain it.
I was trying to be literal.
Yeah, that wasn't a joke.
I think Phil probably got it. He would be giving them
Phil,
lead
for
too.
some reason, has some kind of sound problem tonight.
No, I'm still using my old board. I haven't hooked up the.
Oh, I see. So you've got a limiter or something in there? Yeah.
I thought the sound was just him talking.
Hey,
Every
Brian.
time we talk, it cuts Phil off.
Yeah.
Brian, isn't that a scratch on that McLaren?
Hey, Kevin, are they going to have the Garlic Festival this year?
They did already. It was a drive-through. It was kind of funky.
That's
right.
You just got to drive through and smell the garlic. You know.
No, they had all the main dishes and stuff, but you had to drive through. It was 2 weekends long.
That sounds like you got to stand in line for 2 weekends.
No, you drove through.
You
know, it was at one of the churches, and
That must have taken forever.
Did the Garlic Festival have a shooting a few years ago? A mass?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah,
Maybe that's why it's drive-by now and not people.
yeah, you have to hit the moving target now.
Oh boy.
Or it's more, what do you call it? More sportsmanlike.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I used to go down there
Moving
just for them
targets.
fucking steak sandwiches.
Well,
Yeah.
there's our theme
They'll be
song.
back next year, though.
There's
Garlic.
Yeah, it'll be a full
Yeah.
festival again.
Why am I coughing? We have that's our theme song. That's our closing theme. Hey, thank you, Phil, for sticking around. You know.
Yeah.
Good to see you again, Phil.
Classic.
Yeah, we don't yell at you, Phil.
The moon on your head looks like you have an idea.
Yeah, right. It looks like a light bulb. Yeah. It's the first one ever. But thank you, Phil. You know, it was, as Brian said, it was classic Phil.
I try to bring it to the party.
Yeah.
Call in on an off day.
Alan, thank you so much. Thank you to Jeff for joining us. And John Larkin, always nice having you here. Tony, you're always welcome to be here. And same thing goes to you, Brian. We love having you here, and we love seeing your family, and we're just jealous of you. That's all. You know, and add the McLaren to all of that, and, you know, you're blessed, my friend. And,
I blew
of course,
up the McLaren, by the way.
Huh?
I blew up the McLaren. I'll tell you that tomorrow night.
You did what to your McLaren?
Did not.
Blew it up.
I blew it up.
No, yeah, right. And of course, thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate it.
Don't even say that.
No, don't even say that. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give you a big wave goodbye back. There they go. That's our citizen panel. I'm wondering about whether I should keep calling it a citizen panel or not. I don't know. But I don't know. Anyway, hey, listen, that's it for tonight. Jack is next with The Intersection. He'll be taking your calls on Skype at Gabnet Live. I'll see you again tomorrow night. The sports show is here at 8:30. And then I'll be here at 10:30. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for being with us.